Welcome to the practice today. If you would please begin in child's pose. So bring your knees to the mat and sit your hips back on your heels and then fold forward and reach your fingertips out toward the front of the mat. And breathing in and out. And then if your forehead is on the mat, gently roll it just a little bit from right to left. Just massaging your forehead, relaxing your head and neck. And as you inhale, fill up your belly and feel that belly press against your thighs. And as you exhale, hollow out your belly like you're deflating a balloon, bringing your belly button towards your spine. Let your hips flow gently towards your heels. And breathing in and out. And you might walk your fingertips a little bit closer to the front of the mat, rolling your shoulders down and back. And continuing to breathe in and out. And the breath is the most important thing in the practice. So as you're inhaling, feel that touch of the cool, dry breath in your nostril. And as you exhale, feel the touch of the warm, moist breath in your nostril. And throughout the practice, no matter what you're doing, keep your attention on the breath and make sure that that breath is quiet and deep and smooth and unbroken, meaning you try to make a continual loop between the inhale and the exhale, and that there aren't any hiccups along the way on the inhale or the exhale. If at any point during the practice you feel like the movement is making your breath shorter, that's a sign to find that balance between effort and ease. That's a sign to maybe back off a little bit from the posture. And we'll guide you through with some modifications throughout. Breathing in and out. You might set an intention for today's practice, something very general, something very specific, maybe softening in your hips. Maybe you think about recovery, maybe you think about the idea of release, or just simply think about breathing in and breathing out. And of course, we have a lot of thoughts in our mind. The whole idea behind yoga is to still the mind. So if you notice that you're thinking about things outside of the practice, just like clouds, notice the thoughts and let them continue on through. So you don't focus on the other things, the many, many things that you might need to do today. Just let yourself have your practice. And as you inhale, come up to tabletop where you're lining your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And make sure that your knees are hips distance apart so you can open them up a little bit, and that your hands are shoulders distance, so you're looking right down so your head's in line with your neck. And as you exhale, let your heart drop toward the mat as you lift your head and lift your hips into cow. Or as you inhale, and as you exhale, arch into cat. So you tuck your tailbone. And inhale, releasing your heart to the mat as you breathe into cow, and exhale. And continue breathing in and out between these two postures, breathing in to cow and exhaling to cat. And in to cow and exhale to cat. And then find a neutral spine so your hands your wrists are just under your shoulders, hips over your knees. Inhale here and exhale and sit back in child's Inhale to tabletop, just breathing in between these two places. As you exhale, just a split second before you move, take the breath and exhale and sit back in child's pose. And inhale to tabletop and exhale to child's pose. And take a breath and stay here and breathe in and out. And as you let your breath rest here, let gravity help you to bring your hips closer to and think about what you might be able to relax. Maybe it is your chin and your jaw, keeping your lips together. If you have a slight smile, that automatically releases the lower half of your face. Finding that in-between state between effort and ease through the breath. And as you inhale, come back to tabletop, and exhale, tuck your toes and send your hips to the ceiling and downward dog. And you're thinking about letting your heels touch the mat, and if they're high, maybe walk your feet in just a step or two. Just find your dog. And your hands are shoulders distance apart. All 10 fingers are facing up, especially your index and your middle finger, like your peace fingers. Think about them facing right to the front of the mat. Pressing through all 10 toes and all 10 fingertips. As you inhale, lift your heels. And exhale, float your heels back to the mat. And inhale, lift your heels up. And exhale, belly button towards your spine and heels down. One more time, lift your heels. And bend your knees so your shins hover just above the mat. So you come bending the knees. So your shins are down. Just lifting, just moving the back of the body. We go back to downward dog. Float up and exhale and over. And one more time on the inhale. Straighten your legs. Exhale. Hover. Inhale, straighten your legs and float your heels back down to the mat. And then lift your right leg behind you, making sure that your toes are spread and your leg is active, pressing through the ball of your foot and your heel. And as you exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands and bring your back knee to the mat. And then bring your hands to your front thigh. So you're floating down with your hips as you're reaching up through the crown of your head. And then you can release your arms to your sides and breathe your arms up by your ears. So you're collecting the energy and bringing it in close to you. Think about activating breathing out through your fingertips, making as much space as you can between your shoulders and your ears. That's exactly right. So you're breathing in, filling up the belly, and hollowing out, exhaling. So you're lengthening up through the crown of your head, through your fingertips, as you're rooting down through your hips and through your knee and the sole of your foot. Inhale here, and exhale, reach forward and bring your hands to either side of your front foot. And then send your right foot back. Lift your back knee and send your right leg back up to the ceiling. And then back to downward dog. And then one time lift your heels and exhale, bend your knees and hover your shins again. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, float your heels back down to the mat. And make sure your dog is right where you need it to be. And then lift your left leg up to the ceiling. Flex through. That's excellent. And as you exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands and come into the low lunge on the other side. So you bring your hands to your left thigh and root down as you rise up and breathe your arms by your ears. Turn your pinkies in toward each other and roll your shoulders down and back as your arms strengthen and lengthen. Breathing in and out. So you want to straighten your arms. Breathing in and out. So each inhale, you're lengthening. Each exhale, you're melting into the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale. Reach forward and bring your hands to either side of your front foot. Lift your back knee and send your left leg to the ceiling and bring your left foot back to downward dog. And then come up on your heels and bring your knees to the mat and find your way back to tabletop. So knees to the mat, and then you make sure bring your hands in just a little bit. They're just a little wider than your shoulders. That is perfect. So you roll your shoulders down the back, heads in line with your neck. And then float your belly to the mat as you inhale into cow. And then exhale into cat. And inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. One more time. Inhale into cow. And exhale, belly button towards your spine. Exhale to cat. And then come back to tabletop. And just simply turn your fingertips towards your legs to release your wrists a little bit. So they're aiming here. Yes, yes. Just turn them around and breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. And on the exhale, turn your fingertips back toward the front of the mat. And tuck your toes and find your way to downward dog. So you're in child's pose. And then inhale back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, and then lift your knees and send your hips to the ceiling. And then send your right leg to the ceiling, and your right foot in between your hands, coming back into that low lunge, dropping your back knee. then breathe your arms up by your ears, always stopping on the thigh if that gives you more stability. And as you exhale, bring your arms behind you and interlace your fingers and roll your shoulders down and back. And then open your collarbones and begin to look up at the ceiling. Breathing in here. Each exhale, shoulders down and back. As you inhale, come back to straight, release your fingers, breathe your arms up. And exhale your hands to either side of your front foot. Lift your back knee and send your right leg to the ceiling. And then back to downward dog. And then send your left leg to the ceiling and exhale. Make space for your left knee to come in and your left foot to come in between your hands. And then drop your back knee. And then come up and breathe your arms up by your ears, lengthening as you exhale, hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders down and back. And then just begin a very, very slight back bend. Looking up, breathing in and out. On your inhale, come back to center and breathe your arms up. And exhale, hollow out your belly and reach your hands to either side of your front foot. And then send your left leg up and exhale to downward dog. Send your right leg back up. And this time come into a high lunge if you can, which means simply bringing your right foot in between your hands and then keeping your back knee off of the mat. So that right foot's in between your hands. And if this is too wobbly, you can always bring your knee to the mat. And knee to the mat would be the low lunge. Knee lifted would be the high lunge. So if you can, bring your hands to your right thigh. So you're thinking low, and then you're trying to make sure that your right knee is right over your right ankle. So you want to go, that's perfect. And so you're breathing out through the crown of your head and down through the soles of your feet and out through your left sole of your foot. And then breathe your arms up. And then cross your wrists one way, one in front of the other, and then the opposite. And then breathe forward, bringing your hands to either side of your front foot to folding. And then on the inhale, just straighten your front leg. And exhale, bend your front leg. And inhale, slowly straighten. And you can keep a slight bend in your knee and then exhale, coming back into the lunge. And one more time, straighten your front leg. And exhale, bend your knee. And then bring your back knee to the mat. And then step your left foot up to meet your right. There you go. And come to a flat back, so halfway, maybe hands on your thighs or your shins. And exhale and release down. And then bring your arms to a T, bend your knees, and come all the way up. So you're in mountain, so your legs are straight, and your arms are down by your sides. A little space underneath your armpits, and your palms are facing forward. And think about opening your feet so their hips distance apart, nice, sturdy, and steady. And your hips are over your knees, and your knees are over your ankles. And you're lengthening up through the crown of your head, activating your legs. Feel the four corners of your feet, that mound behind your big toe, behind your little toe, and the two sides of your heels. Breathing in here so your legs are nice and active. Bring your belly button towards your spine. Shoulders are down and back. And then you breathe up. And exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale here. And exhale down. And breathe up. And exhale. As you get taller, you bring your hands to heart center. Breathing in here. And exhale down. One more time. Breathing up. And exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. And then fold all the way forward. And then bring your hands to your shins, to your thighs, come to a flat back. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat, and then bend your knees and step back into downward dog. So into downward dog, so your hips are yes. And then send your left leg to the ceiling, and bring your left foot in between your hands into the high lunge, so that back knee is up. And then bring your hands to your left thigh, and make sure your left knee is right over your ankle. And you're still rooting down through those four corners of the feet, sending the energy down through the sole of your front foot, out through the sole of your back foot, up through the crown of your head, and then breathe your arms up by your ears. And again, cross one wrist in front of the other, release and fingertips are active, your energy is coming out the fingertips. And exhale, belly button to your spine as you bring your hands to either side of your front foot, and your knee is nice and bent. And then on your inhale, gently begin to straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend your knee. And straighten the front leg. And exhale and bend your knee. And straighten, but don't lock it, right? Don't force it, but just notice the difference and exhale down. And then stay right here and bring your back knee to the mat. And then step your right foot to meet your left. You can either go back or forward, so you're a downward dog, and then come up on your heels and back, and then float your heels back down and inhale. We usually do things in odd numbers, usually 3 sets of 3s or 5s. Coming up and exhale your heels back down. As you inhale this time, ripple forward to high plank. So your shoulders are over your wrists. Bring those hands back a little bit, but not too tight. That's perfect. That's perfect. So you're thinking about pulling your belly button towards your spine. Your head's right in line with your neck. So you're looking down, maybe a little forward. And your legs are active, sending your energy out the soles of your feet. And exhale back to downward dog. And always, if we are talking too much and the posture is too much to hold, you can always bring your knees down. So let's ripple back to high plank. And then just let your knees come to the mat. That is also half high plank. This is always an option that might work depending on whatever practice you're doing. So tuck your toes and come back to downward dog. And then ripple forward to high plank. And exhale to downward dog. And then ripple forward again to high plank. And you're pressing through all 10 fingertips. And then exhale to downward dog. And then send your right leg to the ceiling. And exhale, bending your right knee, send your right foot in between your hands. And so your right foot is on the mat in between your hands. And then send your left leg to the ceiling. So you're in a standing split. So you're straightening, mostly straightening both legs and sending this leg up a little bit. And then exhale, make some space to bring your left foot to meet your right. And so if your feet are hips distance apart, open them up just a little bit so you have that stability. And come to a flat back. And exhale, bend your knees and bring your arms to a T. And as you begin to rise up, straighten your legs, reaching up toward the ceiling. And exhale, bring your arms down by your side and mountain into Tadasana. So this time there's that little space underneath your armpits. Palms are forward. Yes, that is exactly right. So this is mountain. This is a nice posture where you can find your center in your breath. If something is making you lose either your center or your breath. Also, child's pose where we began. That's a nice one. So we'll begin with Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. So breathe your arms up and exhale your arms to a T and reach forward and swan dive down as you soften your knees. Bring your hands to the mat just in front of your feet. Hands to the mat and step your feet to downward dog. So step one leg and the other back down to downward dog. And then ripple forward to high push-up, high plank. And then bring your knees to the mat, and then your chest to the mat, and then your chin to the mat. So you're kind of slinking down. And then your whole body comes to the mat, your belly. With your hands right under your shoulders, lift up a little bit, yes, and bring those elbows in by your sides. Lift up into a baby cobra just a little bit, and exhale back down. And one more time, just a little less even. No weight on your hands. That usually helps you to go less. And flow down with control. So the return to the mat is just as important. And then one more time, breathe up into a baby cobra. Inhale here, fill up your belly and press it against the mat. As you exhale, come to tabletop. Tuck your toes and breathe into downward dog. And then send your left leg to the ceiling and step your left foot in between your hands, and then send your right leg to the ceiling and bring your right foot to meet your left in a forward fold Uttanasana. And always, if you'd like, you don't have to send your leg very high. You can just step the leg forward. So adjust as you would like. And so you come to a flat back, feet are hips distance apart, and release back down. Relax your head and neck. And then come to a flat back, arms to a T, bend your knees and come all the way up. And return to mountain. So you're coming up. And then it's round 2, breathing your arms up by your ears. Exhale back to a T and fold forward, reach, and bend your knees and release down. So you can feel your belly on your thighs. And as you inhale here, stay down, and then step your feet back to downward dog. And so your hips, yes, that's perfect. And don't ever expect yourself to be right where you need to be. Find your dog, and then breathe forward to high plank, to high push-up. Bringing your shoulders over your wrists. So just bring your shoulders forward into that high push-up. And then exhale, bring your knees to the mat, and then your chest to the mat, and then your chin to the mat, and then just scoop forward so that your whole body's on the mat. And just one tiny cobra, elbows tight into your sides, and exhale back down. And inhale, fill up your belly. Exhale, tuck your toes and come to tabletop, and then come to downward dog. And then send your right leg to the ceiling, and exhale, bring your right foot forward in between your hands, and send your left leg to the ceiling. And exhale your left foot to meet your right. You come to a flat back, and then release down. And come to a flat back, arms to a T, bend your knees, and lengthen up, and find your way to the mountain. So we're going for round 3. Usually we do 5 rounds, breathing your arms up and over to a T, reach, and then bend your knees and come down, hands to the mat. And straighten your legs on the inhale. Exhale and bend your knees, bringing your palms to the mat. Step your feet back to downward dog. And then roll forward to high plank. So your legs are straight. And if you need to walk your feet back a little bit, you can. Yes. Yes. And then bring your knees to the mat, and your chest to the mat, and your chin to the mat. That's perfect. Breathing into a low cobra. Exhale back down. Make sure you're breathing throughout that cobra. As you inhale, fill up your belly, press your belly against the mat so your forehead is on the mat. And then tuck your toes and come to tabletop. And come to downward dog. And then send your right foot up toward the ceiling. And exhale your right foot in between your hands. And then send your left leg to the ceiling. And then bring your left foot to meet your right. Open those feet hips distance apart. And just hang here and let your head and your neck release. It's a little detour as we go toward the final 2 sun salutations. So shake your head yes, and shake your head no. And maybe bring your hands to the insides of your opposite elbows. So there. And then let your head rest down. And maybe gently swing from side to side, just a little bit, in what we call ragdoll, just to release so your whole body, your whole upper body can move just a little. Staying low. Let gravity help you to fold forward. Relaxing. Catching your breath, finding your breath in your center. And then release your hands back down to the mat. And then bring your hands to your shins and come to a flat back. And then exhale down. Bring your palms to the mat and bend your knees. And step back into downward dog, 1 foot at a time. And then ripple forward to plank. Knees, chest, chin, elbows in by your sides. So you're coming back down to the mat, bringing your knees to the mat, and your chest to the mat, and your chin to the mat. And then bring your whole front of your body. Make sure you go down, and that's exactly right. And then inhale, just with slightly, no weight on the hands, and exhale back down. Stay right here, and then just bring your arms behind you with your palms facing the mat. So your arms are down by your sides. Don't lift up yet. Just don't Bring your arms down by your sides. Straighten the arms by your sides. So, yes, you bring them down by your sides with the palms facing the mat. That's perfect. Now, without putting any weight on your hands, just lift lightly into a low cobra. That's excellent. And exhale back down. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring the palms of your hands underneath your shoulders. Fill up your belly. Press against the mat as you exhale. Tuck your toes and come to tabletop. And then come back to downward dog. And then send your left leg up. Exhale, left foot in between your hands. And then send your right leg up toward the sky. Or just step it forward. Either way is perfect. Breathing in and exhaling out. On the next inhale, bring your hands to your shins, or your thighs come to a flat back. So you're reaching out. Try to see if you can touch my hand with your crown of your head. Okay. Not lifting the head per se, but just reaching forward. There you go. And exhale back down. Bring your palms to the mat. And then straighten your legs. Bring your arms to a T. Bend your knees and come all the way up to Tadasana, to mountain. Making sure there's that space underneath your armpits, shoulders are down and back. And then breathe your arms up. We're going to go through the last round of Sun Salutation A. Arms to a T. And reach, and then bend your knees and relax your head and neck. Come to a flat back. Bend your knees and bring your palms to the mat. And find your way back to downward dog for the last round. And downward dog, then breathing forward to high plank. Shoulders are over your wrists. Bring your knees to the mat and your chest and your chin. And then bring your entire front of your body to the mat, tops of your feet around the mat. And then with no weight on your hands, we're going to do something a little different, but we're going to begin with the baby cobra, just as we've been doing. So breathe as you inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the mat. And exhale with control back down. And then this time come up into a high cobra. So see if you can bring the torso up. And so your legs are active. Bring the tops of your feet to the mat. Tops of your feet. Pressing the tops, not tucking the toes, but bring the feet flat to the mat. There you go. And then lift your knees and engage your legs, but not your feet. Up your feet. Tops of your feet are on the mat. We're not doing Shavasana yet. Just the top of your body is lifted. So let these tops of your feet rest. Yes, there you go. There you go. Activate the legs. There you go. And think about rolling the shoulders down and back. And exhale, gently begin to bend your elbows and slowly bring yourself to the mat. And then bring your arms, let your arms rest by your sides. So your arms are straight by your sides. And this time your palms are up. And bring your toes together and your heels apart. So they're not flexed, they're just toes together and heels apart a little bit. So that you relax your hips. And then bring one side of your face to the mat, either way. And just relax here. Just find your breath in your center, relaxing your hips and breathing in and out. And feel that belly pressing against the mat on the exhale, or the inhale, and exhale all the way. Your inhale, move your forehead to the mat or the floor, and then bring your other side of your face to the mat. Breathing in and out. And notice how that feels. See if there's anything that you can release throughout your body. Breathing in and out. And this is a very nice posture to relax your hips and to find your breath in your center. And then exhale and bring your forehead back to the mat, and then bring your underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes and come to child's pose. Come to tabletop and then sit your hips back in child's pose. And find your breath in your center here. So you're beginning to walk your fingertips a little bit toward the front of the mat, rolling your shoulders down and back. Inhaling, you can feel the belly on the thighs as you fill your belly up, and exhale, hollowing out your belly and bringing your hips towards your heels. Breathing in and out here. And noticing where there might be a little tension in your body, thinking about releasing the tension in your jaw and your chin by keeping your lips together, just a little smile. softens up your whole face. Maybe there's another place that you can release if you're finding that you're holding something as you're breathing through the practice. As you inhale, come back to tabletop. And exhale, tuck your toes and come to downward dog. And then come up, lift your heels and come up onto the balls of your feet and gently walk tiptoe your feet toward the front, toward in between your hands. And open your feet hips distance apart. And exhale and flow forward and forward fold in Uttanasana, so you're relaxing your head and neck. And just breathe here. And with each exhale, you're folding a little deeper down. Just give yourself the chance to do it. And think about making sure your weight is in the middle of your feet, in the arches of your feet. So you're relaxing your toes, you're relaxing into the fold. And maybe catch the inside of your opposite elbow with your hands so that you can go into ragdoll again, so you bend your elbows. And then let your head, the crown of your head rest on your forearms. And maybe just gently sway from side to side. And then inhale and release your hands and bring them to your shins or to your thighs, coming to a flat back. And so you're thinking about lengthening through this part of your spine as you tilt your head forward just a little bit so your head will be in line with your neck. We carry a lot of tension in our neck, of course, from just moving through our days. And then release back down, and you can soften your knees just a little bit so you can bring your hands closer to the mat. And then see if you can bend your knees even a little more and tuck your palms of your hands underneath the soles of your feet. And then even bend a little more so you get your wrists right to your toes. And then wiggle your toes a little bit. Just gently, just slightly, and give your wrists a little massage. This is also a very nice release after the downward, after the sun salutations. And just let your body rest there, breathing in and out. And then on the inhale, you can release your hands from underneath your feet and keep your knees soft and bent. And then bring your arms to a T, and your knees are bent, and you come up. And bring your hands to heart center. Samastiti. So your legs are straight, and you're rooting down through those 4 points on your feet, behind your big toe, little toe, and the two sides of your heels. Breathing in and out here. On inhale, filling up your belly like a great big balloon. Exhale, belly button towards your spine, shoulders down your back. Breathing in. And then let your arms go by your side. Breathing up. And exhale, keep your arms where they are, and then begin to bend your knees. And you can look down and you can bring the toes together and your heels are slightly apart. So you're sitting in chair, in Utkatasana, chair pose. And you can have your arms right out, you can have them at heart center. Just kind of notice how it feels to extend your arms out in front with the thumbs up, shoulders down and back, and you just begin to sit in your own chair. So your weight is this time in your heels. That's great. Maybe you can wiggle your toes to make sure that they're lifted. And you're breathing in and out. And then bring your hands to heart center and fold all the way forward. Relax your head and shake your head. Yes. Shake your head no. And then bend your knees and come right back into chair. So your hands maybe can come to heart center. They can extend forward as you reach behind you. Shoulders down and back. That's perfect. Perfect. And the thumbs are up. So you're thinking energy out the fingertips, up the crown of the head, down through the soles of your feet. Belly button toward your spine. You're activating your pelvic floor, solidifying this part so you can keep your stability. And you find that space in between effort and ease. Bring your hands to heart center and fold forward, keeping you a soft bend in your knees. Just let yourself breathe here. Inhale and exhale. And then on the inhale, come to a flat back. And then bend your knees one more time into chair. And we're beginning Surya Namaskara B, sun salutation B. We'll just do 3 of them. So you're here in chair. And you straighten your legs and you bring your arms up overhead. maybe press your hips forward and open your torso to the ceiling in a very slight back bend. Bring your arms to a T and reach forward and bend your knees. And then come to a flat back with your legs not locked but straighter. And then bend your knees and bring your palms to the mat and step back into downward dog. And then send your right leg to the ceiling. And exhale your right foot forward. And bring the sole of your back foot to the mat. So you're lengthening up, and then you bring then you're going to begin to stand up. So you want to bring that back sole of your foot to the mat. Yes. And what you want to do is you want to open your hips. So open your feet to the shorter edges of the mat so that both hips can come forward. So maybe open your back foot a little bit closer to this outside edge, actually this way, giving yourself the space, and then open this foot a little bit more toward that side of the mat. And then bend your front knee, making sure your knee is right over your ankle. And then think about bringing your back hip forward and your front hip back. So you might want to even do a little bit more, open this foot just a little bit more. And so think about rooting down through the front big toe and the back little toe. And breathing that hip forward. That is really different. Do you feel it? Yes. So you're thinking like those headlights, they're both facing. And we just have to give ourselves the space we need based on how far our hips are apart. So you're breathing into a nice strong lunge. This front knee is tracking right over your ankle. And make sure that it does sometimes want to roll in. Make sure it's pressing out. You're rooting down through the front big toe, back little toe. And then breathe your arms up by your ears, reaching. Exhale forward, bringing your hands to either side of your front foot. And then send your right leg back to the ceiling. And back to downward dog. And then send your left leg to the ceiling. We'll go right to the other side in Warrior One and bring your left foot in between your hands. And this is Warrior One, so we're bring your back toes facing me a little bit. That's it. That's right. And then maybe wiggle walk this foot over a little bit so that your hips are able to face forward. That is really, yes, I know you feel it. Knee right over your ankle. And then as you're breathing in, so your arms are out wide, you're collecting your energy and then bringing it close to reaching out. So you're reaching up through your fingertips, through the crown of your head, as you root down through your hips and through the soles of your feet. Activate your front big toe, back little toe. And by doing that, your back leg is really nice and strong and straight. Breathing in. As you exhale, reach forward and bring your hands to either side of your front foot and your knees bent. And then bring your palms to the mat and send that front foot back to the ceiling. And then come to downward dog. And breathing here. And then as you breathe in, ripple forward to high plank. Knees, chest, chin. Bring your knees to the mat, your chest to the mat, and your chin to the mat. And then bring your whole body to the mat. And then on the inhale, come to a small cobra. No weight on your hands, and exhale back down. Press into the mat and come to a high cobra. Remember, the tops of your feet are on the mat, and your knees are lifted, just the knees. That's it. Lower body still here, shoulders down and back. And as you exhale, bend your elbows into your sides and bring your whole torso to the mat. And inhale here, fill up your belly. Exhale, tuck your toes and come to tabletop. And then come to downward dog. And then send your right leg to the ceiling. Lengthening here, giving yourself space. Exhale, your right foot in between your hands. And then send your left leg to the ceiling. And bring your left foot to your right. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, release down. And bring your toes together, heels slightly apart, bend your knees, and find your way to your chair. Breathing in here. So you're thinking, as your knees are bent, you're letting your hips float toward the mat as you're reaching out through the crown of your head. This is a lot harder, so make sure you're paying attention to your breath. Inhale and exhale. And inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward and drop your head and neck. And then come to a flat back. Bend your knees and bring your palms to the mat. And then step back into downward dog. And then send your right leg up. Exhale, your right foot in between your hands, finding your way to Warrior One, to Virabhadrasana 1, often called Vira 1. So you might want to wiggle up that front foot out toward the short edge. Just notice where the space is that lets you bring both hips forward. That is perfect. You're right there. Knee right over your ankle. And then make sure these toes are facing forward. So it's the back toe. Bring your back toes a little bit forward. There you go. There you go. How does that feel? So you're making sure both soles of your feet are nice and flat. Bring your arms up by your ears. Collecting that energy, bring your little fingers to the face. And exhale, reaching your arms forward, bring your hands to the mat. And send your right leg back to the ceiling and then back to downward dog. And then send your left leg to the ceiling. And exhale, your left foot in between your hands for Vira 1 on the other side. Bringing that back sole of your foot to the mat. Perfect, perfect. You're finding your way. Never think you're supposed to automatically be there. You're just always adjust as you need. Maybe wiggling that foot up just a little wider. Breathing that back hip forward from your back, knee over your ankle. Coming forward a little bit. Breathe your arms up by your ears. Reaching up and exhale your hands to either side of your front foot. And then send your front foot to the ceiling. And exhale to downward dog. And then ripple forward to high plank. Knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. And bring your body all the way to the mat. On the inhale, just a baby cobra. And exhale down. We're just going to go on from here. So on the inhale, you're going to press into tabletop. And then tuck your toes and go right into downward. Send your left leg to the ceiling and exhale, bringing your left foot forward, and then send your right leg to the ceiling and bring your right foot next to your left. So both feet are up here at the front of the mat, in between your hands. So your toes are together, heels are apart. Into a flat back, and then exhale down and bend your knees, finding your way back to chair. Just having a seat in your chair. So you're thinking about wherever your hands are, if they're at heart center or if they're right in front of you, you're sitting back. And each exhale, let yourself drop just a little bit deeper down into the pose. Inhale here, filling up your belly. Exhale, floating down just a little bit. We're going to do one more adjustment here. So you extend your arms in front of you. So you're still in a chair. And then exhale and bring your arms behind you like the wings. So your lower body isn't moving. Your little fingers are facing each other. Breathing in and out. And inhale, just bring your arms by yours. Notice you're automatically a little bit further down. And then bring your hands to heart center and stand all the way up. And open your arms to a T. This will be our last time with Surya Namaskar. Face on salutation. Floating down. Come to a flat back. And then exhale down. Bring your palms to the mat. Bend your knees and find your way to downward dog. And send your right leg to the ceiling and bring your right foot in between or up into Vira 1. So you're thinking about making sure that back hips forward and your front hips back. Opening your arms a little bit. Toes a little bit more toward. That's perfect. Maybe wiggle that way out just a little. There you go. You will always find it. And then breathe your arms. And exhale, keep your, stay where you are and bring your hands behind you and clasp your fingers together. Roll your shoulders down and back. And just do the slightest back bend to look up. And stay here during the exhale. And the inhale, release your hands, bring your arms back up. And exhale your hands to either side of your front foot. Bring your palms to the mat. And send your right leg back to the ceiling. And then down to downward dog. Last time on the left side, breathing your left leg up to the ceiling. exhale your left foot to 0, 1. So you can think about bringing your toes a little bit forward in the back foot. Great. And this is always a good idea to keep your hands at your hip flexors. You can keep them there the whole time, or you can bring them up in your knee. Remember, it comes a little forward, so it's right over your ankle. Breathe your arms up. And stay right here with your lower body. Simply let your hands float down by your sides and interlace your fingers and open your torso and control your back in a slight back bend and breathe your shoulders down and back. So your legs are active. Opening into that back bend. Inhale, release your hands, bring your arms to either side. And exhale, your hands to either side of your front foot. And send your back leg to the ceiling. And exhale to downward dog. One more time, ripple forward to high plank. And then bring your knees to the mat, your chest to the mat, and your chin to the mat. And then let yourself relax and bring your arms down by your sides with your palms up and your toes together and your heels apart slightly. Toes together and then heels open. And then bring one side of your face to the mat. And breathe in and breathe out. And just sort of scan your body and notice how you're feeling. Just trying to release any tension that you can. On your next exhale, bring your forehead to the mat and then gently roll your head to the other side, so the other side of your face is on the mat. Breathing in and out. So each inhale, you're pressing your belly into the mat. Each exhale, you're hollowing your belly out. Belly button towards your spine. And on your inhale, bring your forehead to the mat and bring your hands. Just drag your backs of your hands up toward your shoulders, and once you are right under your shoulders, flip them so your palms are on the mat, and then tuck your toes and come to tabletop. And sit back just for a breath in child's pose. So you let your hips rest on your heels. And notice how you're feeling in child's pose at this point in the practice as opposed to maybe the very beginning. Just compare, just notice. Inhale and come to tabletop, so you line your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Tuck your toes and come to downward dog. And then come up onto the balls of your feet and tiptoe your feet in between your hands. So your hands are in between your feet. Open them hips distance apart and come to the flat back and exhale and release down. Arms to a T. All the way up. And then breathe your arms by your sides into mountains. Your legs are straight, shoulders down and back, getting as tall as you can be. Reaching through the crown of your head, rooting down on the soles of your feet. And we're going to go into tree. So the way to start is if you know where your tree is, and I'm talking to you and I'm talking to anybody that might be watching, you can find your way to it. But if just the beginnings of tree would be to bring your hands to your hip flexors. You're staying nice and tall, but you're really focusing on something that's just a little bit ahead of you and on the floor, some little imperfection that's not moving. And so you're thinking about the breath in that space behind your eyes, your eyebrow center, your center of wisdom, your big deep. This is the breathing in and out through that space behind your eyes. So you want to make sure your eyes are open and you're focused on that, and you're lengthening, but your gaze is a little bit down. So then root down into your left foot. Turn the four corners of the foot, big toe, little toe, on the two sides of the heels. Your leg is nice and strong, and then bring your right heel in front of your left ankle. And your knee is out to the side. And this might be tree today, right here. Or as you root down, you might lift those toes. And then you might begin to bring your foot up the side, like the side seam of the pants, either below or then to help yourself above the knee. So you press your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. So as long as just trying to make sure if it's on the knee, undue pressure could send things out. So maybe you think about, you're lengthening, you're rooting to rise, you're activating your pelvic floor. And you find today's tree, and it could be very different even in just a minute. And then maybe think about bringing your hands to heart center. So you're pressing your hands together as you press your heel or the sole of your foot into your leg and the leg into the foot. Two kinds of support systems there, breathing in and out. And if you think about it, especially important in hurricane season, trees that don't give it all, that don't sway at all, will crack off. If you sway a little bit, that means you're going to be able to root to rise. So this is exactly what we need to do. Maybe think about opening your arms, spreading your branches wherever your tree is. Shoulders down and back as you reach out through your fingertips. Maybe lift your gaze. That might be something to consider. Or, find where today's tree is right. And then bring your hands back to heart center. And wherever your tree is, just simply bring your knee forward and come back to mountain and find your breath here in your center. And then go to the other side. So you root down through the opposite foot, whichever foot you didn't do before, bringing the opposite heel in front. And then maybe you have your hands here to your hip flexors, and maybe you keep that. Maybe you lift up toes. Maybe this side is a different side. It is different. It feels different. Below or then above your knees. So you want to make sure that the knees to the side, wherever else it is, that's perfect. That's perfect. So you're rooting down and lifting up and focusing on that little dot of something that's not moving. And if you're feeling like you're rooted, you can bring your hands to heart center. You can always bring the hands back if you need to. And think about rooting up, pressing together so that foot is pressing into the leg, leg into the foot, hands pressing into each other. Breathing in and out here. And then maybe think about lifting your branches. So your little fingers are in, your palms are really kind of facing the ceiling. Shoulders sort of back. And then maybe looking up or maybe not. Sometimes the looking up is a journey. Wherever it is, breathing in and out. And think about breathing through that space behind your eyes. Lifting up as you exhale. Bring your hands back to heart center. Lift up here as you inhale and as you exhale. Wherever you are, bring your knee forward and come back to mountain. Finding your way, finding your breath. Breathing your arms up by your ears. This time, bring your hands to heart center and then gently roll forward very slowly into Uttanasana, into that forward roll. Come to a flat back and then bend your knees and bring your hands to the mat and step back to downward dog. And then ripple forward to plank and bring your knees to the mat and cross your ankles and then sit back so that you're coming into about the middle of the mat. So you bring yourself all the way to a seated posture with your legs right in front of you. And so be in the middle of the mat so that when we go down all the way, you won't bang your head on the floor. So you're breathing in and out here. And make sure that your feet are still hips distance apart. It's just as if we were standing, right? And then bring your hands by your hips. And lengthen up through your spine as your shoulders are rolling down and back. And you might want to come a little forward. There you go. Thank you. So you're pressing through the balls of your feet and your heels, and your heels might even come up. Maybe not. But that idea of keeping your legs very active. Tuck your chin slightly. This is Dandasana stand pose. Breathing in and out. Next staff meeting, you can sit like this. I've been dying to try that. So you bring your heels back to the mat, but keep your legs active, and breathe your arms up by your ears, and inhale, and exhale, reach forward, gently reaching, keeping as long as you can be, and then exhale, release down, wherever you are, maybe your hands touch your shins, maybe reaching forward, your head is in line with your neck, and then you begin to relax. And so you've got enough space in between your legs for your belly to fold. So reach in and out. Pashimottanasana. just as when we were standing, this is just a seated. Feel your belly filling up, but also expanding to either side. And as you exhale, keep yourself low there. Exhale, bring the two sides of the rib cage right together. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Contract. As you inhale, lift your head up and look forward, and as you exhale, come back. And then bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. And gently windshield wiper the knees from one side to the other. Breathing it out. And then begin to, so you keep your feet hips distance apart and your knees are bent. And then exhale back until the heels want to come off, but don't. So a little bit further back. And inhale, as if I'm pulling a rope. We're pulling ropes from each direction. And inhale, fill up your belly. Exhale, hollow out your belly button towards your spine. Activate your core. And this time, continue to bring your spine slowly to the mat. Just 1 centimeter at a time. Once your whole spine is on the mat, extend your legs long, reach your arms up overhead, and reach through your right hand and your left foot. Just imagine that transverse. And reach through all 10 fingertips, all 10 toes, and then think about the space between your left hand and your right foot. And while you're down on your back, I'm going to sit up so you can hear me. So then I would like you to bend and hug your knees into your chest and roll gently from side to side, just gently. And then bring your arms down by your sides with your palms facing the mat. And then bend your knees and lift your feet. Just lift your feet first. And extend your feet right to the ceiling. So you're pressing through the balls of your feet and your heels and your bum, hips distance apart again. Reaching up as if you're going to step right up onto the ceiling. So you're looking up, don't turn your head from side to side, just make sure you look straight up and you're breathing in and out. And as you exhale, bend your knees and bring your feet back to the floor, the soles of your feet back to the floor. And we will go into bridge, so you can think about, first of all, just simply, as you inhale, you're filling up your belly, letting your spine rest on the mat. Lifting up just a little, but not with your hips just yet. And exhale, bring your belly button towards your spine. Rooting down into the mat. So your feet are pressing in, your spine's pressing in. Inhale, fill up your belly. Exhale, hollow out your belly. Bring your belly button towards your spine, lengthening that spine on the mat. As you inhale, fill up your belly. And as you exhale this time, pull your belly button towards your spine and begin to gently lift your hips up into bridge. So you lift them up and then come up. Maybe walking your feet a little closer to your body and you're looking straight up, not turning your head from side to side. And maybe think about lifting up just a little bit more and staying right here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, lift up just a touch more, and exhale, gently return your spine to the mat. And inhale here, filling up your belly without moving anything. Exhale, just the belly button towards your spine. And inhale, filling up. And exhale, bringing your belly button towards your spine. And inhale here, filling up. And as you exhale, lift your hips one more time. So you're keeping your knees strong and rooting down through your feet and lifting up and rolling your shoulders down the back. Breathing in. Fill up here and exhale, gently return your spine to the mat. One more time, fill up your belly. And as you exhale, lift your hips and breathe here. Exhale, belly button toward your spine, gently return your body to the mat. Breathe your knees into your chest. Hug them in. Rolling gently forward toward the right. And you'll notice your top knee is probably a little behind your bottom knee. See if you can guide that top knee so it's equal. So wherever it is, we can just let this so that your knee is in line. You might need to walk a little bit to see. There you go. There you go. Then think about gently opening up and thinking about opening your shoulders and chest. And then if it's comfortable, you can look over your opposite shoulder. Notice how that feels. Breathe in and out. And as you inhale, bring your spine to the mat, bring your knees into your chest, and then let your knees float to the other side. And look to see that your top knees align with your bottom knee. And then think about opening the shoulder and maybe looking to the other side. Breathing in and out. Feeling that nice twist and that nice release. Cleansing out all the toxins, all the things that we worry about and hold. As you inhale, fill up the belly. Exhale, bring your spine back to the mat. Bring your knees into your chest and hug your knees in tight. So you lift your head and shoulders, make yourself just as small as you can be. Tighten up everything. On the next inhale, release your arms over your head and extend your legs the length of the mat. Let them rest on the mat. Make yourself as long as you can be. And then let your arms rest down by your sides. So there's a little space underneath your armpits, just like there is a mountain. And open your heels to the short edges of the mat. So you tuck your chin and close your eyes. And just begin to let the mat and the floor support you. Feel the support of the floor as you melt into it. And notice how your body is feeling. If there's any tension or anxiety, send your breath and your attention to that spot. And think about release. And inhale from the soles of your feet all the way up through to the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Inhale from the tips of your toes up through the crown of your head. Exhale from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Inhale from the tips of your toes up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your ankles. And inhale from your ankles up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head back down to your ankles. Inhale from the ankles up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your ankles. Inhale from your ankles up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your knees. And inhale from your knees up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your knees. And inhale from your knees up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to the tip of your tailbone. And inhale from the tip of your tailbone up through the crown of your head. Exhale from the crown of the head to the tip of your tailbone. Inhale from the tip of your tailbone up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to the space just about an inch below your belly button, your navel center. And inhale from the space up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to that space just an inch below your belly button. And inhale from that space below your belly button up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your solar plexus, your belly, your center of your belly. And inhale from your belly up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your belly, your solar plexus. And inhale from your belly up through the crown of your head. And exhale from your belly, from the crown of your head to your belly. Inhale from the belly up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your heart center, the center of your chest. And inhale from your heart center out through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your heart center. And inhale from your heart center out through the crown of your head. inhale from your heart center up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your throat center, right where your neck attaches to your torso. And inhale from your throat center up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your throat center. And inhale from your throat center up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your throat center. And inhale from your throat center up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your eyebrow center, that space right behind your eyes and in between your eyes. And inhale from your eyebrow center up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your eyebrow center. And inhale from your eyebrow center up through the crown of your head. And exhale from your crown of your head to your eyebrow center. And inhale from your eyebrow center up through the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head all the way down through your body and out the soles of your feet and beyond. And inhale from the soles of your feet all the way up through and out the crown of your head and beyond. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, circling your wrists and your ankles, and bringing your attention back to the room around you, back to the world. Noticing again how the floor and the mat support you as your body rests and melts into the mat. And then with your eyes closed, gently roll your head from side to side just a little bit. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and hug your knees into your body. And then roll over onto one side and use your hand as a pillow. So you're in a fetal position, lying down on the floor. And that bottom hand can be your pillow. Just rest here in your stillness. Think about the intention you may have set at the beginning of your practice. And see if it's the same one you'd like to take into your practice off the mat today. And if it is, that's great. And if it isn't, adjust it any way you feel works for you. When you're ready, exhale and press yourself up into a seated posture. You can cross your legs, or you can sit on your shins, or you can extend your legs out in front of you, sitting up nice and tall. Extend your arms and let all 10 fingertips rest on the mat, or on the floor beside you. You're lengthening up through your spine as you fill up your belly on the inhale. Holding your belly out on the exhale. And then breathe your arms in, collecting the energy, bringing your arms up by your ears. Bring your palms together. And then bring your hands to the crown of your head and to your heart center. And then inhale, extend your arms out. As you breathe your arms up, breathe in peace and presence. Bring your palms together. As you exhale to the crown of your head and to your heart center, release any tension or anxiety. As you inhale, extend your arms. Exhale here, hollow out your belly. Inhale, breathing in one more time. Peace and presence. Bring your palms together to your crown of your head, to your heart center. Keep your hands right here at your heart center. And gently close your eyes or let your gaze float toward the floor in front of you. Breathing in, filling up your belly, and exhale, hollow out. And on your next inhale, bring your thumbs to your eyebrow center, that space between your eyebrows. Palms are together. And as you inhale, may the peace and light in you greet the peace and light in me. Together we say, Namaste. Thank you for a beautiful practice. That was lovely.